Good evening, everybody. Edison here with the Edison Trading Collective. It's about 6 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday, March 9th. Going to give you a little twofer tonight. Going to do a trade review and a trade recap all in one. I actually have not had a time to go back and look at my trades today. It was a rather lackluster performance for me. As you can see, I'm net 234 on the day, and felt pretty okay, as I recall, about the first trade I made, and felt really dirty about the second trade I made, which is ironic because the first trade I made 50 bucks in profit or thereabouts. Net. The second trade I made was almost 4x that amount. So I made almost 4x the net profit on my second trade that I feel horrible about rather. So I think it's really important to note that profitability in any one given day doesn't necessarily mean that you can be productive in the long term. And the things that I did today, I think, that will be revealed is a good indicator of that fact. So let's get into it. I did take a few seconds to just write down entries and exits, and we'll talk about the first trade. I was long the 850 puts on both trades today, just for your reference point. So, all right, here we go. Market is showing some strength out of the gate. So was Tesla. Of course, I was long biased, but I really felt uncomfortable about being long in this market, given the levels that were above Tesla at the time, the 850 and 855 levels. It just wasn't something that I was super keen on getting into, right around here. So, market sort of rips out of the gates. Tesla goes with it. It sells off hard immediately. And I said, okay, cool. We're going to start to establish potentially a green to red move. We're selling off below the cloud. I'm short biased as it is at my core, and I wanted to get short again. And I got short on the 833 candle, anticipating it was going to break the 832 candle. It didn't. It rips back up, throws in a huge upper wick. The 834 candle throws in a huge upper wick and bounces back up, sort of inside that 1 minute. And I actually ended up closing for what amounted to be a 25-cent gain or so per contract. I only had 2 contracts because I was thinking I was going to build a position today, in a short bias in a short position rather, because I knew it had room down to 807 or so, as I thought. But it bounced around. I went, green, red, green, red, green, red. And I think the final time I just said, you know what, I'm just going to get out of this thing. It's clearly not following through. And I bailed for like a $50 winner. So then on the 836 candle, the 837 candle, I got short again 2 contracts. After it's throwing up all these upper wicks underneath the cloud, I got short 2 contracts here, anticipating the break of the 836 and this level here. Let's call it let's call it 836.50 or something to that end. And I was wrong. It ripped against me really quickly, and every single candle kept throwing up these upper wicks. Rather, I'm sorry. So I actually kept adding a piece at a little bit better average than I had, and I had built a 5 contract position through the 840 candle right here. So every single time this thing is going against me, it's throwing up these really weak positions, meaning that just a really weak move. And this is why I'm so conflicted. I made 4x the profit on this trade than I did in the first trade, but it was a horrible trade. I feel really bad about it. This thing could have went to 855 and then bounced and moved against me. And at the time, I just kept telling myself I was right, I was right, I was right. And in the end, I was right momentarily. But that's just not a strategy, I think, in my mind. So let's talk about the exit. I get out here a little bit for a bit of profit. I'm sorry, on this candle here for a bit of profit. And I hold through another rip against me and then end up getting out on this flush here. The remaining two contracts, I think, for like $185 or so net profit. So I go through all of this nonsense, right? Uh, with 7 contracts in total one way to make $185. So what is that, like 28 cents a contract or something like that, and then you take commissions out. I mean, it's just basically a flat day. If you're going to trade 7 contracts of something to the tune of 20 or 23 or $24 a contract, and you make $234, I promise you, you're going to get chewed up in the long run. And I know that, and that's why I'm coming to you saying, with a raw review of my trades, this was not a good day. I made money today, and this was not a good day. I simply managed things almost to perfection, got a little help from the market, used, sure, a few indicators to suggest that maybe I wasn't crazy thinking this thing could work in my favor. And at the end of the day, it did momentarily. I mean, I got out like around here, and you can see it went down to there. And options premiums at that point down here, I'd have had a heck of a winner. But that's not a strategy, and that's not a thing in my world. Today was a bad day. I made $235, and it was a bad day. And I think that's sort of a juxtaposition that I wanted to point out today as I am now going back to look at these trades for the first time, saying, golly, this is just horrible. It's just a bad day. I made bad decisions. Um, I I wasn't even indecisive. I was just wrong for the most part. But anyway, it is what it is. Hey, 3 green days in a row, I suppose, is nothing to be ashamed of. But boy, I like to see myself execute things a little bit better. And maybe this is just a market environment that one can't reasonably expect to be super awesome at trading. This is nonsense. In fact, this is nonsense in my opinion. If you're going to open up the way that Tesla opened up, I want to see this, right? Like out of the gates. I want to see none of this. I just want to see this, right? And I was very cautious of it because we had 2 levels above it. And so one of those days where I I don't know. I made $48 or $50 my first trade. One could say you should have just stopped there because what a disaster that trade was. Even and that trade didn't work out. Even the cleanest of the entries today didn't work out. Why are you trading 2.5 times the size on something that you knew wasn't working out the first time? Yep, all that. Totally, totally, totally would never argue with you about that. So tough day, crew. I don't like anything about this. I probably going to spend some more time after this particular video looking at things again and digging into the exact seconds in which I got in and got out. But I mean, look at these wicks. It's just ugh. I nothing about it was good, and I did push harder than I should have, and I got bailed out. Maybe it was skill, maybe it was luck, maybe it was a combination of the two. But that's just not a spot I want to find myself in ever. Thankfully, I'm on small size right now, and I'm not starting with 10 contract positions and then manipulating the position size from there. I'm starting with 1, 2, 3, right? And then saying, okay, well, hey, things are working out. Maybe I'll add in, or maybe I won't, and I'll just take small profits. So um, that's a little bit of a change for me, and I'm fine with it. I just can't afford. Well, that's not a fair word. I don't want to make dumb decisions with big size in a market that I don't trust, right? So at least I'm mitigating some risk and I'm making some good decisions by simply saying, I don't have this market figured out right now. It isn't doing what I think it should be doing. And thus, I'm going to just simply reduce size across the board. And I'll take lower winning days. I'll take, profits that are lesser than what I'm used to getting, so long as I can at least say I'm unlikely to get totally smoked on a trade. So that's it, gang. Here's a raw review today of the trades and a raw recap of the trades today. So hope you all had a great day. Hopefully you all find some better opportunities than I did. And hopefully you were green, and hopefully you're happy about it. You can go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow morning and get ready to fight again with us. So we'd appreciate it. Be well, take care of yourself, take care of others, and see you on the flip side.